Guys, how you going? My name's Joel from PSC Energy. We're here today doing an install of 32 Aiko 540 watt panels, a 3 stack of 9kWh batteries and a 12kW inverter. Today we're fortunate enough to be working for one of our senior sales consultants, Joel. So I'd like to introduce him and give you a run through of the design process.
G'day mate, thanks for having me.
Yeah mate, so basically we just want to know what your thoughts behind this install was, and yeah, your design process and how we got to here.
Yeah, for sure mate, for sure. So look, obviously I've been thinking about solar for a while. The great thing with this house that we've purchased is that it's a really awesome north facing roof, and we've got a really great east facing section on the back as well. Yep. So for us, we really wanted to make sure that we got the maximum amount of panels on the north to maximise the generation, as you know, but also really important to get some on the east as well, because we do work from home and we're sort of up early in the morning, so that morning production is really valuable to us. Yep. And it's also going to help with charging those batteries as well.
Yeah, lovely. Okay, and then in terms of your batteries as well, what led you to the 3 batteries? Is that sort of your usage? Is that a standard? How did we end up on that?
Yeah, good question. Look, 27kWh or 3 9kWh modules. It is sort of the standard. For us, we're not huge users here. Yep. As I said, we do sort of work from home or we're at home during the day, but we do, like, it gets cold up here, so we run the aircon a lot at night. We just want to have that sort of big battery storage, maximise that rebate especially, because you can only claim that once, and just be done with it. We don't want to revisit it ever again, just one and done.
Lovely mate, awesome. What made you choose PSC?
Oh mate, they're just legendary. They do good work, we've got some good installers as well.
Thank you.
Easy, well let's have a look.
So we're in here, this is Joel's garage, and this is where we're installing his battery system. Not really too many challenges in here. It's a single skin brick home, which just means you have to do a little bit of conduit work. Basically his battery stack's going to go on here and it sits up to about there. The only other sort of real things going in here is some bollards, just to prevent him driving in and hitting and damaging his batteries.
God knows I need that. All right, what have we got here?
Alrighty, so over here is Joel's switchboard. So installing right next to it, what we're putting on is our Sig Gateway. That essentially is the control unit for the battery system, and that's what's going to allow for his battery to go back through and feed his home. As we can see in his board, it's quite an old switchboard with some old ceramic fuses in here. So today we're going to go through and do a full complete switchboard upgrade for him. And that's going to allow for a full home backup protection. So during the event of a blackout, he'll have power to his whole home. The other interesting thing that we're doing today is we're removing his off-peak hot water, and we're going to install that onto his smart port. What that's going to allow for is for Joel to be able to go through, set and control what time his hot water unit actually turns on. And what that's going to sort of do is sort of maximise his savings. He's going to be able to run his hot water entirely off his solar and his battery system, and yeah, that'll just save him a truckload by the end of the day.
Alright, so this is the design. So we use a solar design called Open Solar, and I've basically just sort of done a few mock designs over the past few months thinking about what I want on our home. But what me and my partner settled on is basically a 2-bank design. So you can see here we've got the really big north facing solar bank, and then also on the east as well. So as I said at the beginning, the main reason for that is we want to capture that north facing solar panel production. That's typically the best, most efficient way to produce solar. The sun's always in the north, right? And then also on the east as well for us. So we do have a west facing sort of part of the roof. It's obviously smaller, Personally, I just didn't want to see the panels when I'm driving down towards the front door every day. I just didn't want to see them. I'd rather have them in the backyard. It's also going to get a few more panels on the east section there. And the real great benefit there to me is that if I'm at home during the day in the morning, I'm going to be able to subsidize my usage with those panels. But if I'm not there, those panels are specifically just going to charge my battery way quicker than most other homes, I suppose. So by about 11 a.m, my battery should be fully charged, and then the north-facing panels will just cover the rest of the usage throughout the day. And then when I get home in the afternoon, start cooking dinner, whatever, that's when those north-facing panels will start subsidizing that usage as well. So those are the two sort of big considerations with the design. The other thing is, as you may have noticed, the current satellite image is actually a concrete tile roof. So I did just have the roof upgraded to ColourBond tin about 2 weeks ago, so it won't be populated here. But that's why we've opted to do a landscape design as well with this installation. So on ColourBond roofs specifically, we can do the rail perpendicular to the way the panels go. So it's literally down the edges of the roof, as you'll see, and then the panels just build up in landscape. So that allowed me to get more panels on than I would in portrait, and it's allowed us to get to about 15.6 kilowatts of solar, which is fantastic. The other main considerations is the battery placement. So that's probably the most difficult part of this job for me and the installers. So being that I have a really great north-facing aspect of the home, and my switchboard's located about here, right? So typically you want to try and get the battery as close to the switchboard as possible if you're an installer, just makes things a bit easier. But I didn't want it there because that's a north-facing wall. So that battery's just going to get smashed with the sun all day. It's going to cook up. It's not going to blow up, obviously, but I just want to take care of my investment like anyone would. So I decided to have the battery installed in the garage, which is on the other side of the home. Boys didn't love it. It's a bit longer of a cable run. It's not really that bad at the end of the day, but that is just something we considered. And as part of putting it in the garage, I did have to get a bollard and a smoke detector installed just to meet compliance as well. So that's okay for me. I don't really plan to use the garage in terms of putting cars and stuff in there. It's just going to be storage, but it's something you might want to consider if you're looking at putting the battery in the garage as well. So another thing that I want to sort of point out with my system, I just bought this home very recently, about a month or two ago. We actually don't have an electricity bill yet. So how do we size the solar? That's a question I get asked a lot. So I lived in an apartment with my partner before buying this property, so our usage isn't entirely indicative on that last bill as it would be for this home. So I've pulled it up here. This is what I had previously. So we were averaging about anywhere between 8 to 15 kilowatt hours a day, just depending on the time of year. That was a 2-bedroom apartment with no ducted aircon or anything, right? So I thought it was pretty reasonable to expect that we're going to double that usage at a minimum once we move into a larger home. This is a 4-bedroom home. We just got ducted installed as well. And yeah, so we've sized the system with that in mind. So if we go into the proposal again here, the big thing that I look for when I'm designing solar systems, and particularly my own system, is that the solar is capable of producing enough energy to cover what I'm consuming in winter. If we get winter right, the rest of the year is fine, right? So for example, I'm expecting that we're going to use about 30, maybe 35 kilowatt hours a day in a really bad day. Like if it's super cold, it does get cold up here in the mountains. And you can see here on the proposal that we're going to average about 40 kilowatt hours a day of production at that time. So that's more than enough. I should be able to cover our usage pretty easily in winter. And then in summer, you're just doubling your production. You're nearly like 80 kilowatt hours a day on average with this system. And it's all thanks to that north-facing section as well. So yeah, that really quite literally means I could just run the aircon all day pretty much and not have to worry about getting a power bill in summer, hopefully anyway. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hey guys, it's Joel. It's been 4 weeks now since we had our solar and battery system installed at my place in Hazelbrook, and got to say it's done a great job so far. So on the app, it's telling me that we've used about just under 900 kilowatt hours in about a month's time, which is way more than I thought we would use. But you know, with solar and battery, why the hell not? But I've only really imported about 8% of that total consumption from the grid, which is massive. The solar and battery is pretty much covering our entire load in the home, and I've really only drawn on rainy days, to be honest, when the solar is not producing as much and the batteries haven't charged as much as I'd like. So that's a good thing with Sigenergy. I'm able to come and add another module whenever I want, and honestly, I'm already thinking about adding another one very soon. So yeah, it's done really well, and it's telling me that I've already saved 250 bucks in that time. So I'm on track to save about 3 grand off my bill in at least the next 12 months, probably more with the way their electricity rates are going as well. So yeah, it's been really good. Thank you again to the guys, Joel and all the boys on the day. It looks fantastic. Couldn't be happier with it. And thank you guys for watching as well. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I'd love to help you out with any inquiries. And yeah, see you in the next one. Cheers guys.